To say the least, it's a new, basically, content schedule for No Limits with Lucas and YouTube and all audio platforms. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode No Limits with Lucas, episode number 8 for JB in June 10th, 2025. Yeah, you better go see your Raw review today, because it's something different I'm doing today. It's no longer be any wrestling reviews. Well, there will be wrestling reviews, but it'll be strictly a No Limits Lucas podcast, the podcast you're seeing right now. Be strictly that. Going back to my old school days, basically. You go check out my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook. You would see like this message I put out into the public. So that explains everything right then and there. But to say the least, the Raw, NXT, the SmackDown, and all AEW Dynamite, and all pay-per-views for AEW, and all PLEs for WWE, and Saturday Night's main event coverage, you all strictly on the podcast. Basically, like your radio show, basically. So yeah, I'm going to try to do less cursing from now on. I'm going to try to, at least. Especially along those last, knock on wood. Probably blowing this freaking podcast, to say the least. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? I know. We're going to discuss a lot of things. And by the way, it's not just a regularly standard wrestling podcast. It's also wrestling, pop culture, and sports are coming back to No Limits Lucas coverage. So I'll be discussing your NBA Finals Game 2, because I didn't watch Game 1. I didn't want to watch Game 1 because I knew this bad feeling. Oklahoma was a bad feeling with the freaking Pacers. But my Thunder in the NBA Finals tied up one game apiece. So I ain't finally going to finish this off. Maybe I'm back in Oklahoma City win 3 share or not. We're 4 straight to 7, so losing Game 1, you get the point. We're going to discuss everything in today's podcast. So it's your Monday Night Raw. Your June 9, 2025 Monday Night Raw review. A lot of things happen. John Cena and CM Punk have face-to-face promo, and they will face each other at Night of Champions for the Undisputed WWE Championship. I mean, this is interesting to say the least there, isn't it? Wait until this podcast. John Cena and CM Punk one more time at Night of Champions. I'll be honest, I hate the freaking time we're doing this in Saudi Arabia. I freaking very much hate that. I'll be honest, I get that, my take on that. We also see AJ Styles defeats Chad Gable, another Chad Gable match, another Chad Gable L. I hate to see it for him. And we love AJ Styles. Also, Roxanne Perez defeats Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley in a fatal 4 match and win the Queen of the Ring tournament. Yep, the Queen and King of the Ring have now officially started for WWE. And they spoiled Asuka's return, not even a surprise. They give us mystery point for the men's side of things. They don't give it for the women. That makes no freaking sense. I'm going to stop it right there, man. I'm going to stop it right there. It makes no sense. So you have freaking you have mystery partner for the men's side, mystery opponent for these 3 wrestlers. Sheamus, it's a Sheamus versus match. Forgot somebody else too. You get the point. I just hate the fact they spoiled it right there. I hate the fact they spoiled Asuka's return. Just don't like that whatsoever. The star power Asuka possesses. We're going to discuss that. So Becky Lynch has a promo and calls out Lyra Valkyria to the ring. Ultimately, Bayley, speaking of returns, makes her return taking out Lynch. We'll discuss that. Listen, R-Truth, this freaking great ass segment, man. I said the ass word. I'm sorry, people. I'm blown it twice already. R-Truth cuts his hair and reveals to the world he is now Ron Killings. This was freaking great. I absolutely freaking love this, man. We're going to discuss that. Also, Sami Zayn defeats Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Penta in the King of the Ring tournament match. Discuss that. Listen, Nikki Bella looks gorgeous this freaking day. This woman just does like church dress. She's like fucking wine. She's just like damn wine. Nikki Bella is still gorgeous at 41 years old. I looked up her age today. I was like, no way, she's 41, bro. No, she's 41. Oh my god, she is gorgeous still to this damn day, bro. She might even be better, more gorgeous. Let's go. Nikki Bella returns to WWE to promote Evolution on July 13th. And Liv Morgan interrupts with both women taking verbal shots at each other. Liv Morgan taking his brewer shot at John Cena. And Nikki Bella's marriage with John Cena falling apart. I thought that was brilliant. And Liv hits Oblivion on Nikki Bella as well. I freaking love that segment. I thought it was a pretty fun segment for sure. We're going to discuss that. It's in Gunther. And then it's very shocking main event, I feel. Defeats Jey Uso in the main event to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Very much better than their first match they had at WrestleMania. Very much better than the first match they had at WrestleMania. I actually would prefer this match quite a bit better. They had a pretty amount of decent chemistry each other. I didn't like the WrestleMania match. I knew that Jay was going to win the title, but still you get the point. But gone through the feats Jay used on the main event to win the WWE Raw Heavyweight Championship, discuss that on the Raw side of things. Also, the rest of your stuff here on your Dolmus Lucas podcast. Backstage news on potential WWE NXT entrance. Oh my god. Interest in TNA stars Mike Santana. We're going to discuss that. Also, backstage news on WWE creative plans for Jade Cargill Evolution 2. Discuss that. Also, some WWE star Zoey Stark undergoes surgery on ACL and MCL meniscus after Raw injury. We'll discuss that. Also, on the AEW side, things for wrestling. Warner Bros. Discovery split likely to have little to no fallout for AEW. We'll discuss that. Also, discussing on the NBA side, so sports talk. My Oklahoma City Thunder even up the NBA Finals in one game apiece, following Game 2 victory over the Indiana Pacers. I watched that game, man. It was a freaking beatdown, honestly. And the box score might be a little bit closer than you thought, but still. Man. It was like basically 123-107 victory, say at least. So DeMarcus Cousins. He has drinks thrown at him and tries to fight fans after a wild ejection in Puerto Rico Basketball League. We're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be discussing Taylor Swift and the pop culture side of things. I know, I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift. I know, people. I'm sorry. She filed a temporary restraining order against a man she was harassing her. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss this day in wrestling, sports, and music history, and quote it and finish off your podcast. As always, thank you for watching. No Limits Lucas. Maybe you saw this on episode number 8 for June 10th, 2025. Starting with, you guessed it, your WWE Monday Night Raw, June 9th, 2025 review. Star John Cena, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Champion, and CM Punk have a face-to-face promo, and they will face each other at Night of Champions for, like I said, the undisputed WWE Championship. I just get an A-. I enjoy the promo, but I absolutely hate the fact that we're doing this match in Saudi Arabia. And trust me, I know CM Punk has his issues in Saudi Arabia with the stuff he said in the past, before he was back in WWE. But still, people keep calling him a hypocrite, a sellout, this and that. I'm like, all your favorite wrestlers are hypocrites, including mine at times. Including my favorite wrestlers. They can be hypocrites at times too, I'll fully admit that. Everybody can be a hypocrite at times, people. Just to let you know about that. But I don't like the facts that's taking place in Saudi Arabia. We could easily have some Money in the Bank destroy its rights itself with CM Punk rocking out of the company with a WWE World Championship. It was in Chicago 2011. And he walked out of his hometown with the WWE Championship no longer with the company. That story was played out there. You could easily have this match take place in Money in the Bank with the history rights itself with John Cena and CM Punk. With the biggest title in all the company. Can they have this main event? Or again, have it take place at SummerSlam on Night 1 or Night 2 in New Jersey. But no, we do this in Saudi Arabia. It's just this weird time with that. I don't know if I like that. But I guess I wanted to find out. Trust me, I love seeing CM Punk and John Cena. It's the match I wanted to see for your Money in the Bank or SummerSlam with John Cena. It's a match I wanted to see. But I feel like it's just so weird with Seth Rollins being implicated with CM Punk right now. Well, that's just really bizarre if you ask me. This is a story for another day, I guess. And Seth Rollins won the Money in the Bank contract, and obviously Money in the Bank, obviously. The voice correct there, go figure. But this was pretty good. The stuff they said back and forth, I enjoyed quite a bit. Gave us an A-, like I said. Very fun to start your Monday Night Raw for June 9th, 2025. Well, that's AJ Styles, the worst thing on the show. And I hate saying this, and I love AJ Styles and Chad Gable. Not this match was bad, per se. I just hate seeing Chad Gable take another freaking L, man. I am over Chad Gable taking so many L's. Left and right, and so on and so forth. I am tired of seeing Chad Gable looking up the lights. Flat on his back looking up at the lights, man. I'm tired of it. And AJ Styles is winning. You know, AJ, I love AJ Styles. Don't get me wrong. I love Chad Gable too. This match was okay for what? I feel like he's still going to perform a lot better, honestly. This is for all this. It's an all-grade B-. It's kind of sad seeing these two and not doing like a great match on paper, to say the least. AJ Styles defeating Chad Gable is an all-grade B-. Nothing else to note, honestly, to say the least. Moving on to Roxanne Perez. She defeats Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. I know, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley face each other in the match again. Oh, fucking boy. Anyway, I spoiled the F Bob Merriman. I'm sorry. It's the third time I did in this podcast. I know, weird, I know. Roxanne Perez defeats Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley in a Queen of the Ring tournament match. This gets a B. This match is pretty solid, like I said, but man. Like, can we stop with this freaking, like, bull crap happening with so many different things here? Like, ultimately, Kairi Sane was in this match to ultimately take the pinfall. I know it's always a fatal four, but all the matches are fatal fours in the Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring. I freaking hate that. Why is the King and Queen of the Ring's first round matchups a fatal four-way? I absolutely freaking hate that, man. I don't know. I just hate that for some strange reason. I don't like it being fatal four-ways. I just don't like it, man. But this is a solid match. Give it a B. Right outcome of Roxanne Perez winning this match. Especially we got Liv Morgan later tonight. Also, Rhea Ripley probably implications for Evolution, too. And she pins Kairi Sane. Nothing else to say here other than it's a very fun match, man. My only pick for the Queen of the Ring, I don't know what would be at the top of my head. Maybe Jade Cargill started getting a push into her later in the podcast. A little bit later in the podcast, so it's Jade Cargill getting a push on Evolution. Maybe she wins the Queen of the Ring. I don't freaking know. We shall wait and find out, man. Shall wait and find out for sure. But this Roxanne Perez, Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley match in a Queen of the Ring tournament is on grade by B. Moving on, so speaking of returns here, which probably, I forgot to discuss this. Asuka's return match was not even just this is basically in the men's side of things from King of the Ring. They have this mystery opponent for one of the matches. And guess what they did for the women? Basically the same thing by announcing the damn competitor and being Asuka. The hell are we doing with that type of logic there, Triple H? Asuka's one of the biggest names in women's wrestling history in the 21st century. And when Debbie, and Stardom, you name it, Kana, you name it, bro. Asuka's one of the biggest names in women's wrestling in the modern day era. Probably all time, too. And you have this woman being announced she's been out for so long with an injury. And her being announced for a return is so stupid, bro. It is freaking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry for that. I'll just say what they want me to say. Moving on to Becky Lynch. She's a reigning defending WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Has a promo and calls out Lyra Valkyria to the ring. Ultimately making Bayley, speaking of returns, makes her return, taking out Lynch. This also gets an all-grade B. In my perspective, why the hell can we do this in Money in the Bank? I'm in my chair. I'm sorry about that. Why can we have Bayley come out of Money in the Bank after the match with Lyra and Becky? I don't get that logic. Why is Bayley being done so kind of dirty here? By making her return, you know, she's been out for that long. Don't get it twisted. She hasn't been out for that long. But still, like, she's one of the biggest names in the company. You have her return on a Raw after Money in the Bank. But I'll be honest, this is a fun show. It's one of the better Raws of all 2025. A lot better than the last, like, month or so. But, dude, like, what are we freaking doing with Bayley? Coming out to attack Becky Lynch. I'm interested in a Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch, and Bayley triple threat match. Don't get me wrong. That has to be freaking fun, bro. You thought Becky and Lyra 1-on-1 was freaking great. And you obviously thought Lyra and Bayley 1-on-1 was great. Wait till you see these 3 women in a triple threat match. You get the horsewoman connection with Becky Lynch and Bayley, but still. Like, what are we doing with Bayley? Like, coming out after Raw and during the Raw itself. With basically nothing to show for other than attacking Becky. The hell are we doing? This gets a B, like I said. Great to see Bayley back, though. I love Miss Pamela. You know how much I love Bayley on this podcast. She is freaking amazing as hell. Bayley's 3 has been freaking great. Becky's great, Lyra's great, and Bayley's great. I'm looking forward to the match. When it eventually happens, maybe it's Evolution this year. We're going to find out that. But this gets a B. And on to the best thing on the show. R-Truth I know, being the best thing on the show being R-Truth, but I don't know if it's R-Truth. He is freaking great. We love Ron Killings on this podcast. Ron Killings right there. R-Truth cuts his hair and reveals to the world that he is now Ron Killings, his real life name. And he cuts his hair, and my God, bro. You should see the crowds go, still like shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And I don't know if it's bleeped out or not. I forgot, I didn't realize that it was bleeped out. But the crowd looks stunned as hell. I know I dropped the it words just 3 times there, but still, the crowd gets to chant like an eye, bro. Let's just be honest. Like, this was freaking great. I absolutely love seeing that. I love Ron Killings being now Ron Killings. And his more serious type character. Doesn't need to be a heel. He's a serious babyface type character. And I absolutely freaking like this big time. I absolutely like this big time. The only thing I would change here is what he would said about John Cena coming back as John Cena, being basically costing John Cena the match against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. But that's a little hard as far as people got to say about this. This was freaking great. I absolutely freaking love this. So shout out to Ron Killings / R-Truth. This was freaking great. I love the line he said about the truth lines he said. That was also very freaking great if you ask me. And this gets an A. Best thing on the show. I really want to give us an A+. But I want to list for you. I want to give the A+ for big things. This was pretty big too. I like the fact they did this. But this is freaking great, man. You can't shout at Ron Killings any more than I already did. This gets an A. Moving on to another match in the King / Queen of the Ring tournaments. Sami Zayn on the men's side, the King of the Ring, defeats Dominic Mysterio, the reigning defending WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker and Penta, and the King of the Ring tournament match. This gets an A-. I don't like that we pinned Dominic Mysterio, the reigning Intercontinental Champion, but whatever, bro. It's like, dude, why is he even in this tournament in the first place? Why are any singles mid-card champions in this tournament? And for a women's or a women's side. Like, what? Can we have these guys and gals worry about their freaking championships? You know, people say, oh, but they've been in Money in the Bank. It's a different story. But so what, bro? I know. Did Dominic even get a qualifying match? I don't know if he did off the top of my head. I know Zelina Vega at Women's United States Champion got a qualifying match. I know that for sure. And also, who else? Wasn't within the United States Champion? Yeah, Jacob Fatu got a qualifying match, too. But still, like, why are we doing that? I don't understand why they worry about their championships. I know it's a bigger prize going for potentially the World Championship down the line, but still. I mean, worry about your mid-card title. You can even cash in the mid-card title just before. Just ask Austin Theory about that. He cashed in Seth Rollins in the United States Championship. Just saying. Just saying to say the least, man. Oh man, this gets an A-. This is a pretty fun match, don't get me wrong. It's an A freaking minus. Obviously, the 4 guys with Sami Zayn, Dominic Mysterio, and Braun Breaker and Penta getting even harder of a bad match. But man, this is an A-. I actually love this match big time. I still like Dominic Mysterio taking a pinfall earlier. It's a different story for another day, I guess. But I have this confession to make at the time of the podcast with this. With the Gunther and Jey Uso match. I have a weird pitch for WrestleMania and SummerSlam this year. My best sport would be live like Daniel Bryan from 2013. He was a podcaster on Twitter said this too, honestly. I'm not going to name him drop here, but still, you get the point. But Sami Zayn defeats Dominic Mysterio. Oh my god, I'm going to compare McDonald's and Mysterio. I'm going to get the wrong Judge J. Member mixed up in J. McDonough. Slight exaggeration. But Sami Zayn defeats Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Penta in the King of the Ring tournament match. He's no greater than A-. Moving on to Nikki Bella, the lovely Nikki Bella. She looks freaking great, bro. I always thought Nikki was gorgeous, but my god, the more and more I see that woman, just like Mickie James and Trish Stratus, I feel like those 3 women just get more beautiful the day by day I see them. I guess you not. Or week by week, or month by month, or year by year even. They get more gorgeous, man. What was with these like women from like 2010s and early 2000s? But the women looking like freaking just to be more beautiful they are right now. I don't get it, bro. What the flying hell? I thought Nikki was always gorgeous, and she gets more gorgeous when I think about it. And wearing jeans is even better, bro. It's wearing better. I'm just... I can do whatever the hell I want on my podcast, so leave me the hell alone. But Nikki Bella returns to WWE to promote Evolution on July 13th. But before I get into that, shout out Nikki Bella. The stuff she went on our time and I can't pronounce the dude's last name. I'm even gonna try it. The stuff she went through with him, you gotta shout out Nikki Bella for that. So ask Nikki Garcia for sure. Going back to this segment here. Nikki Bella returns to WWE to promote Evolution on July 13th. Liv Morgan interrupts one half the women's tag team champions. Interrupts and both women take verbal shots at each other with Liv hitting Oblivion on Nikki Bella. I enjoy this segment quite a bit. Some people did not. I actually quite enjoy this. I give it a B+. I also like the solid job Nikki Bella did for Liv's Oblivion. She sold us afterward. She looked like she freaking died out there. That looked freaking great for a solid job from Nikki Bella. I always thought she was a decent seller, a very underrated seller, I feel. And also, she can elevate people big time, bro. Especially her star power she has even now. She can elevate a lot of women, bro. I'm not saying lose every match. I'm just saying, Joe, you get the point. But this was freaking very fun segment. I gotta be honest. I was not looking forward to this as much as I thought. But man, going out of this was actually pretty fun, man. This is a B+. And honestly, I love the fact Liv stood tall here, honestly, at the end of the segment. I absolutely like that. You don't want to have Nikki just hit like a rack attack or a rack attack 2.0 finishing move and just bring down Liv Morgan a bit. You don't want to do that in the first time. So Nikki Bella putting over Liv Morgan here for a brief moment is pretty good. You know what? Let's have Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan at Evolution. I don't mind that. People might say the Bella twins are Brie Bella and also Raquel Rodriguez for Liv's partner. But I just don't know if I feel about that. I don't know what to feel about that. I don't need to see the Bella twins back together. I feel like Nikki was always a better wrestler of the Bella twins. It's probably not even a hot take. Well, people actually feel that way. But Nikki was always very fun, I felt. I'm not the biggest fan of Brie. Obviously, her husband is Bryan Danielson. We love Bryan Danielson a lot in this podcast, but still. The Brie Bella is just not... I don't know, man. Obviously, I hate her theme music now. The Brie Bella! I absolutely fucking hate that, man. I cursed again. Sorry. I'm just not much of a fan of Brie and man towards Nikki. I'm sorry, bro. This is my opinion, man. But this gets a B+, man. I don't want a tag team match here. I would rather see Nikki versus Liv one-on-one at Evolution. That would be actually pretty fun. That's the only legend you could probably need there. Unless you're going to put Trish Stratus on, so maybe Mickey James. But still, I feel like Nikki Bella here would be just fine with one legend here. Unless the pipe dream is AJ Lee. That's a pipe dream as well. But this Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan 7 over B+. And on to your main event. And got the Yeet movement's now done, people. Gunther defeats Jey Uso in the main event to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This is an A-. This is probably the best match they ever had together. At least in their top 3, they have a lot of matches together. I prefer this much more than a WrestleMania match. And this was pretty fun, man. This is an A-. This is an A- for sure. And I'm scared with one thing, though. Before I get to my also thoughts I have with the Sami Zayn and just to tell you the end of the segment. Gunther defeats Jey Uso. Basically, Gunther tapped out at WrestleMania the sleeper hold. That was technically his move, nonetheless. I prefer this match a lot better than a WrestleMania match, like I said. But I am just worried about this one thing. Since Gunther won the championship and Goldberg getting rumors about Goldberg coming back for one more match, please don't ever put this on you. I'm probably putting it out in the universe, but I don't want to. But watch just Triple H. But Goldberg to challenge Gunther at our Saturday night's main event Night of Champions for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And please, I trust me, I know Gunther's going to win that match. Let me see what I think. Knock on wood. That'd be awful if Goldberg wins. Knock on wood. That'd be awful if Gunther loses the championship to freaking Goldberg. That'd be awful. That's like freaking Fiend and Goldberg level dog crap creative. That says one thing. I'm sorry for scaring my viewers away with that one, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for scaring you for that image in your head. I'm sorry about that, but I don't think it's going to happen. We shall really find out, man. Knock on wood. Maybe it's Gunther and Goldberg, a career versus title match. We'll find out with that. But he also has other pitch to make. That's a good pitch. Let's just say Sami Zayn wins the 2025 King of the Ring and goes on to face Gunther at SummerSlam for the said WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He even ends up being Gunther. Let's just say we pull like a 2013 SummerSlam and go into WrestleMania 30 with Triple H and Randy Orton Evolution. When Triple H was a special guest referee in 2013 SummerSlam, and after the match with John Cena and Daniel Bryan, Triple H did a pedigree with Randy Orton, who was Mr. Money in the Bank at the time. He cashed that damn thing in, and Randy Orton pins Daniel Bryan 1-2-3 with Triple H as a special guest referee. So that's one thing. That's what happened there. And also, ultimately in 2014, WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan got his revenge on All Evolution by being Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H all the same night to win back the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't see that plain implication with Sami Zayn here, but I'm going to say Sami Zayn he beats Gunther and becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. But since Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, like Randy Orton, I'm gonna have like some maybe special guest referee. Maybe it's Gunther. Not Gunther. Maybe I don't know. So maybe not a special guest referee. But maybe you get the point at least. Let's just say Seth Rollins cashes in the Money in the Bank contract and beats Sami Zayn after Sami Zayn beats Gunther for world title at SummerSlam. I'll be honestly pretty great if you ask me. That's the only thing that would make me feel great about Seth Rollins winning that Money in the Bank contract. That's the only thing I would think about being great for that. And then we have Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 42. Maybe Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble in 2026 and ends up getting his revenge on Seth Rollins and beats Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 42 night 1 or something like that. Maybe that happen night 2. So wait and find out with that. But that's my early prediction for both men going to WrestleMania. What happens with Jey Uso? I don't know. Or Gunther even for you after SummerSlam. That's my early prediction, man. This Gunther and Jey Uso match for the World Title can start with a A-. As your World Show for Monday Night Raw, June 9, 2025, it's an all-rate at B+. This time went 20 freaking minutes. Can you believe that? I kid you not. That last segment with the Monday Night Raw review, oh my god, man. It could be a regular stair upload, man. I kid you not. 27 minutes just for that promoting that and other things, to say the least. Hold on, back to your podcast. A little bit of news topics on wrestling, things. Go and get into your NBA and sports talk. And also, I'll finish up your pop culture. Backstage news on potential NXT interest in TNA star Mike Santana. Santana, currently a part of the TNA wrestling roster, has made a few appearances on NXT in recent weeks. Also last week against Trick Williams for the TNA World Title. And it seems to have impressed the higher-ups of the promotion as per PW Insider Elite. Interest in Santana, the report claims increased following his match with Trick Williams, who currently is the TNA World Title, like I said. The report further added that Santana's current contract with TNA will be ended later this year, and him attracting eyeballs from WWE higher-ups could have an impact on his future. I can see it being all honesty, but I feel like if he stays at TNA for a little bit, maybe win the TNA World Title from Trick Williams eventually. I feel like him at least having a run with that title for a couple months like Joe Hendry did. I feel like it'd be good for TNA and also Mike Santana too. I don't see you need to bring him up obviously right now. NXT main roster from NXT roster can use him obviously. The men's division sucks. Even with guys like Ricky Saints on that company or that promotion, a little bit of brand. You get the point. But still, man, him and Mike Santana being a TNA World Champion, has a working relationship with NXT to a point too. We kind of go for both parties here. So wait and find out though at TNA they have to retain Mike Santana or goes to NXT like I said for sure. Keep you updated on the situation going forward. Moving on, backstage news on WWE creative plans for Jade Cargill Evolution 2. WWE is beginning to prepare for July's Evolution Premium Live event, the Ultimate's PLE and everything. And it seems that the promotion has grand plans for the former AEW star Jade Cargill. Evolution is set to take place July 13th in Atlanta, Georgia, which happens to be a native for Cargill. Hey, I didn't freaking know that. Jade Cargill's hometown is Atlanta, Georgia. Not freaking know until today, honestly. WWE is reporting going to use her to promote the show and sell tickets, and she is set to receive a huge push in the coming weeks, according to PW Insider Elite. As per the report, Cargill is set to feud her old rival Naomi. The two will face each other at Evolution. There you go, spoiler alert. The report highlighted how Naomi has spoken about adding a stipulation to her rematch with Cargill, and even spoke about it after this past weekend's Money in the Bank PLE, where she became the women's Money in the Bank match winner. And it is believed that the WWE will begin the storylines for Evolution this week. I absolutely like that in all honesty. Build on to her Saturday night's main event for July 12th, 2025, and also Evolution for July 13th, 2025. Absolutely like that in all honesty. What does Jade and Naomi do at Evolution? Maybe like a last woman's stand match. Can definitely see that for sure. Maybe like a no holds barred match. Waiting to find out with that. But I don't like probably Naomi's gonna probably take the L there, which I don't like that at all. Being held in Money in the Bank contract. But then again, she has a contracting job. She should always be grateful for that, right? So waiting to find out Jade Cargill and Naomi produced at Evolution, whatever stipulation they have. Keep an update on that going forward in all honesty. Moving on. WWE star Zoey Stark undergoes surgery on ACL and MCL meniscus after Raw injury. Zoey Stark has undergone surgery for her injury she suffered on Monday Night Raw and released a short video updating fans on her status and hinted at making an announcement about her future. The video showed Stark 8 days after her surgery or injury outside of Rotham Orthopedics, confirmed that she has been set for an ACL, MCL, meniscus surgeries. That sounds freaking awful, bro. It really does. Stark was then shown getting ready in her car for the surgery before being shown walking into the hospital on crutches and then laying in bed ahead of the 3.5 hour surgery. 3.5 hours. Oh my god, man. Can't imagine she's thinking in that situation, bro. That's awful, bro. She was scheduled for following this. Stark teased that she'll be revealing her next move, urging fans to stay tuned on Monday, June 16th, to hear what her decision will be. Hope to God she is not a budget cut release, man. I don't know if that's actually illegal or not. I hope to God she's not released. That would be freaking awful for WWE/TKO for that. To release someone who's fucking injured. I dropped an F-bomb there. And this is what it is. I keep it updated with Zoey Stark and her post-injury status when she indeed coming back. So right now she's out for the rest of 2025. You know, it's probably in 2026 she might be out too. If you not see Zoey Stark, you can see indeed as Captain Debbie. Not probably not until 2027, early 2027. We should wait and find out for that. But I wish Zoey Stark nothing but the best for sure. That injury like freaking sucked on Night Raw that one time. So wait and find out what Zoey Stark does in her surgery and post the surgery and everything. Keep it updated on her going forward in all honesty as well. Moving on to your AEW news and your final piece of wrestling news before we get into your NBA talk. Warner Bros. Discovery split likely to have little to no fallout for AEW. AEW broadcaster Warner Bros. Discovery announced this week that the company will split into two, and a recent report has indicated whether the split will affect AEW and its programming. This past week, AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery, revealed that the new companies will be called Streaming and Studios and Global Networks. A Bleacher Report, CNN, Discovery, and TNT Sports set to be part of the Global Networks. Well, HBO, Amazon Max, can you believe that? HBO Max and Warner Bros. Brothers Television and DC Studios will be streamings and reform streamings and studios. As per FIFO Select, the split will not impact AEW and its shows. And Warner Bros. Discovery told the outlet that the details on the move are currently limited and that the transition will take time, with the switch expected to take place by mid-2026. The report further highlighted that AEW will not lose any of its TV deals to Warner Bros. Discovery, and that AEW shows will go on to so as planned, with the promotion still a priority for the network. AEW's current contract with Warner Bros. Discovery, which was signed last year, will run until 2028. Despite viewership and ratings not being as strong before because the creator sucks. What? I didn't say that. Reports from earlier this year indicate that Warner Bros. Discovery is happy with AEW. I don't know freaking why, bro. But it's a different story for another day. and the viewership that it brings to their network, and with Warner Bros. Discovery not worried by it. I call bullshit. How can you be happy with AEW and Dynamite and Collision's numbers in the ratings, Warner Bros. Discovery? Just asking the honest questions, man. It's not about I'm about a guy Warner Bros. Discovery. I'm not be like thrilled about these numbers either. I'll not be thrilled about whatsoever. So wait and find what to do, post this and everything, and we can keep you updated on the situation going forward. I'm moving on, so you're back to your sports talk. And I'm at the sports talk and pop culture stuff has returned to No Limits to Lucas. On to by Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA. Even up to NBA Finals 1-1, one game apiece, following Game 2 victory at the Pamcom Center and also in Oklahoma City to beat the Indiana Pacers. There was no Game 2 miracle for the Indiana Pacers. Like I said, the Oklahoma City Thunder seized early control of Sunday's Game 2 victory to the NBA Finals and now let go on a route to a 123-107 victory. With the victory, the Thunder tied the series at one game apiece, 1-1, like I said. I watched the game. I didn't watch Game 1, as I kind of regret not watching Game 1. Actually, I do regret not watching Game 1 for my own sake, for being a Thunder fan, obviously. And that, blowing that freaking lead, man. I couldn't believe it. I went to bed like 5 minutes ago with the game, and I think the Thunder were up by, 10 at that point? I'm like, oh my god, man. Then they even woke up the next morning, they lost by 1 freaking point, thanks to Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, that frustrated me big time, bro. I kid you not. Bro. It frustrated me that. But then again, we got revenge for Game 2, and go back to Indianapolis, tie the series 1-1. Rob did that and being down 0-2, can lose both our home games, so they'll definitely like that big time. But this game is not too... if you're a standard NBA fan, you don't like this, honestly, for Game 2. But it's two small markets, bro, and absolutely, I like that, honestly. Two new teams in the NBA Finals. We don't see this often. Think that the Pacers not in there since, 2000? What year did they get to the Finals? Let me look this up, actually. And now I'm curious. Let's see. Pacers past NBA Finals appearances. So look this up right now. It was 2000. 2000 they lost against the Lakers. Yeah, that's when Kobe and Shaq, I believe. So there you go. 2000 was the last year they went to the NBA Finals, not in this year, 2025. And the Thunder, I can tell you right now, in 2012. The last time they were in the NBA Finals, they lost against the LeBron-led Miami Heat team. So this game was pretty good for my own sake, being a Thunder fan. And by the way, I've seen these analysts online, or analysts like an ESPN, saying if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP guy right now, he was actually named the MVP this year, says if he wins the Thunder championship this year, he's automatically the best Thunder player of all time. Not including the Supersonics. He says strictly in their Oklahoma City Thunder, he'd be the greatest Thunder of all time. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. Is he up there? Certainly, like top 3, honestly. With him, KD, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook. But man, he's probably up there right now, honestly, right now. But I don't know about number 1. You gotta give Russell Westbrook been there for so long, and he did all he did at the top level. And same with KD, he was a snake, obviously. I hate Kevin Durant now, you get the point. But man, maybe Shai could be the top 2, maybe right neck with him and Russ. But so we find out. Let's see what keep all the update for Game 3 to discuss it Thursday in the podcast. Which probably be a podcast up tomorrow for Wednesday. But I'm going to talk NBA Finals and 2 basically Thursday. Episode number 10, honestly. So the Thunder end up the series in 1 game apiece. So going back to Indiana Game 3 on Wednesday on ABC. Keep you all updated and going on Thursday with the outcome this game will be. We're on one piece of sports news and tuning into Taylor Swift. DeMarcus Cousins has drinks thrown at him and tries to fight fans after a wild ejection in Puerto Rico Basketball League. You gotta hear this story, man. It's freaking crazy, man. We'll discuss it right now. Former Sacramento Kings center DeMarcus Cousins came extremely close to recreating his malice at the Palace on Monday. Cousins tried to fight fans after a wild ejection during a Puerto Rico Basketball League game. The incident occurred when the fourth quarter, when the contest, Cousins, a member of the Cinnabonio Mets, don't know how the frick to say that, appear and then they get into a verbal altercation with a fan on the side of the court. Cousins would grab his crotch. Oh my god, man. He grabbed his crotch. The frick are you doing, DeMarcus? In front of the fan who responded by flipping off Cousins. Oh my god, this story's already getting bizarre. I'm a minute into this. The center was then touched the man multiple times before her teammates stepped in. Cousins was ejected from the contest, but the incident wasn't over. Oh great, there's more. Lovely. As Cousins was being led back through the tunnel, he took a swipe at an angry fan who had been stuck up his middle finger at the crowd. Oh my god, man. DeMarcus, what are you doing, bro? You're 34 years old. You're doing this still? At that point, multiple fans threw drinks at Cousins, who attempted to go after the fans. Oh my god, man. You can't do that, DeMarcus. I'm sorry. Cousins was held back by multiple security members who prevented what could have been a much nastier incident. Really, can't get nastier than that. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, you get something nastier than that. That'd be freaking even worse for DeMarcus. Oh my god, DeMarcus, what were you thinking, bro? What were you freaking thinking? Well, just hope he learned his lesson from this, but I don't know, man. It's DeMarcus Cousins, 34 years old, supposed to be a veteran in the NBA and also post like NBA and everything. But still, man, you can't do this, bro. You can't do this whatsoever. Keep up what he does going forward in this Puerto Rico league, I guess, going forward. Moving on to the artist I'm not a fan of whatsoever in the pop culture side of things. Do like a couple of songs though, but not a fan of the football stuff she does. Taylor Swift files temporary restraining order against a man she says is harassing her. All serious, this isn't be non-biased as possible. This is going to be all non-biased for sure. Taylor Swift has taken legal measures to ensure her safety. The singer recently reviled a temporary restraining order against a Colorado resident, Brian Jason Wagner, interesting name, who she said alleges that she visited her home, or has visited her home in Los Angeles, California, obviously multiple times in the last year, stating she is now fearing for her safety of herself and her family in documents obtained by E! News. Mr. Wagner made various statements about lying or living at my property. Not true. Oh boy, bro. Swift wrote an illegal declaration, can't freaking speak today, obtained by E! News, being in a relationship with not me is not true, believing I am the mother of a son, not true. Mother of her son, of his son, what the hell is this bro thinking, man? The hell is wrong with you poor people? And needing to see me in person, of all of which are untrue and disconnected from reality, end quote. In her declaration, Swift states that Wagner first visited in her Los Angeles residence in 2024, returned to the property several times in July of that year, adding on at least one of the occasions in July 2024, Mr. Wagner was carrying a glass bottle, and that could have been used as a weapon. Oh my god. Used as a weapon. These men, bro, I kid you not, they are psychopaths. As a man myself, people can be men can be freaking psychopaths to the umpteenth degree. Like, dude, what the hell are you trying? What is your point trying to make a point here? What is your point you're trying to make here, Mr. Wagner? Just asking the honest questions, man. Just asking the honest questions. I must am not the greatest fan of Taylor Swift. I absolutely hate her in the football side of things. But she is a good singer. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like she's highly overrated. That's just how I feel. In all seriousness, I hope she gets this all situated for sure and can move on with this with Travis Kelce, to say the least. And finally, everyone, this day in wrestling, sports, and music history, and call it to finish off your podcast. So in wrestling history, 2002. Stone Cold Steve Austin walked out of WWE just hours before Raw was due to was going live from Atlanta, Georgia, and the show he was booked to face and lose to Brock Lesnar for the first time ever. Austin was enraged that the WWE would give away such a potentially historic match on Raw, so don't blame him there, honestly. And it was capped by with many months of frustration with his booking in the company and his physical condition. Austin would not appear from WWE until February 2003. So that's 2002. Moving on to 2019, a final day in this year in wrestling history. On an episode of Monday Night Raw from a SAP Arena or ASP Center in San Jose, California, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins lost their Raw Tag Team Championships to Revival, Dash Wilder and Cash Wheeler. Or Dash Wilder and Cash Wheeler. Oh my god, compare them both in FTR. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, also known as Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, in All Elite Wrestling. And then a triple threat match, and I also included the Usos. So that's the same wrestling for Revival on the wrestling side. Moving on to your sports thing, one thing in sports history. 1984, the Boston Celtics, boy, hate as a basketball team, beat the Los Angeles Lakers, they also hate as a basketball team, 111-102 in a Game 7 to win their 15th NBA championship. So that's this day in sports history. Move on to the final part of the history, your 2007 music. Rihanna in 2007 went to a number 1 on the UK album chart with her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, featuring the single Umbrella, which spent 10 consecutive weeks at number 1 and win a week UK, making it the longest run number 1 single at Wet. Oh my god, man. 1994 hit Love Is All Around. The album stayed on the UK chart for almost 117 weeks. So that's this day in history for all your topics. Moving on, your final part of this podcast, your quote of the day. Quote of the day: there is nothing impossible to they who try, by Alexander the Great. Quite love that quote. Repeat that one more time. There is nothing impossible to they who try, by Alexander the Great. To finish off your No Limits Lucas podcast, episode number 8 for June 10th, 2025. Thank you all for watching No Limits Lucas, episode number 8 for June 10th, 2025. Like I said, June 10th, 2025 today's day. I'll catch you all tomorrow for your flagship No Limits Lucas podcast, episode number 9 for June 11th, 2025. Discuss all things NXT and all of your news going on in sports and pop culture and wrestling as well. Until tomorrow for more content, No Limits Lucas and YouTube and all audio platforms. Peace, love, and out. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the least.